Welcome to the Polishing Profits Podcast, where we discuss all things related to the business of detailing. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is for you. In each episode, we'll cover topics ranging from business management to marketing solutions. Here to help you grow your detailing business, your hosts, Nick and Dustin.
All right, what's up?
We're back.
Of course, you got my boy Mike Carlin on with us today.
Where did we find Mike? Look at him chilling in the car. Where are you, Mike?
I am in Marquette, Michigan.
Yeah?
We had my son's football game last night for his junior season. So the first game was last night.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was thinking it was tonight. What was I thinking?
So a lot of the college games are Thursday night this week, I think, because it's kind of the start of it all.
Yeah.
So then, so we're gonna spend the weekend up here.
So how'd the game go? I didn't even ask you this morning because I thought it was tonight.
Not so well.
Not so well. Don't bring it up, Dustin. Jesus. Come on.
The first half, it was 6-0. There was like 2 minutes left. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and came back, and I was like, by now it should be halftime. And somehow the other team scored, plus they already had the ball back. So I don't know how that happened.
Oh, my gosh.
So at halftime, it was 13-0, and then it ended up being 35-7 but they played number 17. They played number 17 in the nation. So, I mean,
you gotta beat the best to be the best, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, did he get any extra points or punt time in there? Probably punts for sure.
So he's doing most of the kicking and kickoffs and field goals. So he had no chances for field goals. But he had his extra points. So, and then he had 2 solid kickoffs. So
there we go. That's a win.
Yeah.
And the Dustin Jackson, what's going on behind you there? You got promotion. Are you at another restaurant, another Applebee's?
Yeah, I wait on my lunch to just drop across here. No, actually, I just scarfed down a gummy bear because I'm starving to death. So I'm at our Thomasville location, Easy and Outfitters. We're adding a second location for the retail to hat shirts and that kind of stuff we sell there. So we are in the build out phase, finishing up phase of the second location here. We have a tent right outside that door where we're already selling inventory. We were supposed to be open last weekend, and it's just contractors have been tough. So we got electricians on ladders. We got our girls building furniture and putting in inventory. A little more electricians right here. So yeah, man, never a dull moment. You never know where I'm going to be from week.
What's the day you're shooting for? When's the opening day over there?
So like I said, we're selling out of our tent. Yeah, right. No, trust me, the pressure's off now. That was 3 weeks ago when I was supposed to open. Now we're selling out of our tent, kind of like our sneak peek soft opening, right?
Okay.
But our unannounced, fixing to be announced, I guess, grand opening should be around September 21st. That's our plan. So gotcha. That's what we're hoping for. And we are we're on track for that. We'll have windows.
You got 3 weeks. You got plenty of time. Push it up to the 14th. Dude, push it up.
3 weeks is an eternity in this world. 3 weeks is like, man, we could just kick back and relax.
Dustin, I want you pushing yourself a little bit. I think you're just taking it a little too easy. Giving yourself a 3-week runway to open up the store is just too much. I think people want to see it next week.
I get bored easily.
Yeah.
Mike's like, no, he don't. He needs to do less. Look, I was going to work a little bit over the weekend, but I plan on going home Sunday and getting in the hot tub and chilling and just taking a day.
That's nice.
Get a good one in. I'll still have to do my workouts, drink my water. Yeah.
You guys closed on Monday?
Yeah. We're closed for the holiday. So
nice. Yeah, us too.
Yep. Cool. All right. Look, you got a topic today. What you want to talk about, Nick?
You know what? You roll out of bed and these topics just hit you right in the face, right? I get a text message and I wanted to ask you guys, when you get a customer, could be a good customer, could be a new customer, and they ask you for something that isn't necessarily in your wheelhouse. That could be, I know you brought up removing PPF. That could be tint. That could be, let's say you're strictly cars and a guy has a boat. I think it's something that a lot. What's up?
A camper. That's a soft spot for Carlin. Yeah.
You put yourself in that position where you're like, man, I want this customer, I want to win this trust and go for it? Do you say, hey, I know my wheelhouse and I stay in it? I think, again, I struggle with it. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Mike, I'll let you take it. How does your shop handle stuff like that?
So I've changed over the years, and it used to be do anything and everything I can do because I thought it would be money.
Yeah.
And I found out real fast that A, I'm either going to damage something, or B, I'm not going to be able to do it in a timely manner or to somebody's satisfaction if I'm not a professional at it. It's kind of like a new detailer going to Walmart and getting his bucket and his soap and his sponge and thinking, hey, I opened up a detail shop, not having a steamer, an extractor, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So if it's window tint or anything like that, I have a group of individuals locally. They're my competitors, and I'm going to send it their way. They specialize in it. I've done it before, and like I said, it's cost me time and money. And in some cases, even, in a roundabout way, a lawsuit on a camper. So it just got to the point where I'm not going to do it. Like we think we're going to make money, but we always lose money. You
always lose money.
Now, how long did it take to make that transformation? Like, was this last week?
I was going to say, how long have you been in business?
I've been in business for like 18 years, probably about 17.
17
years, 11 months.
And it's hard because a lot of these are returning customers that we have a relationship with.
Yep.
And then you don't want to tell them no, but you actually win their respect. And I'll tell you a story real quick. I had an individual, it's not the same thing, but the way we work with our competitors, how you'll win your customers over. We always think like we're out to November for details. So we hate telling somebody no because we're afraid we're going to lose them.
Please pause for the latter. Go ahead, Mike.
We actually had a customer call and say, hey, we want a detail. My wife said it's going to be out to November. So she goes, but what I'll tell you is we have a group of detailers in the area. Mike works with them. He's trained a couple of them. They use a lot of the same product as what Mike does. Here's their name and numbers. And the guy actually said, well, that's really cool. I respect that. Put me on your schedule. So he realized, our customers will realize, and I think that they'll be more grateful if we're just honest with them,
Oh, they absolutely. Yeah, they absolutely are. And, listen, I'm the world's worst at getting this question, answering this question, because I am the guy that will take it on.
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to let Dustin, continue over there. So yeah, for us, I'm still in that battling phase where I'm trying to over communicate and set the right expectations and giving the customer two options, saying, hey, look, I'm going to do this. And if I'm not 100% happy and you're not 100% happy, I'm not going to charge you. I'm going to make it a zero risk on that customer end. Or I'll also give them like, hey, I know these guys can do it. You know what I mean? Like Mike said, have a recommendation ready for something that you're not super experienced with. An example a couple weeks ago was we had a PPF hood, a custom that needed to get, hand cut. There's no plot for it. That had a bunch of different attachments and stuff that was going to be really, really hard. And I told him like, man, I would be so happy to do that. Knock it out of the park. He's a great customer, but I want to set the right expectations up front. And how that conversation goes is going to set you up for success or failure. If you say, hey, you can sort of tell he wants to make sure that's 100%, then it's better to say no. But if he's like, man, yeah, I knew this was the right choice. I trust you guys. Whatever happens, I got your back. You got to play off the customer a little bit there.
Yeah. And I think what's hard, Nick, is the fact that, people are slow right now. So I think right now people are willing to take anything on. And it's not probably the smartest thing at sometimes, maybe sometimes the best thing is to partner up with somebody that does know so that you can maybe get a lesson in it too. But that's tough when you need business.
But ask yourself this, let's say you're not doing ceramic coatings, right? And you got people asking you and you're go do that training, right? See what are people asking you to do, right? Yeah. And then go do an IGL training and then go jump on. You see what that demand is. And it's maybe something in your area that isn't being offered. And that's why they're coming to you saying, hey, I know you're detailing, I know you're mobile, but I need to do a ceramic, or I really want to do a headlight, or whatever it is. And you go get that training so you can feel comfortable taking on that job. That's why our number one goal is the amount of tint requests that we get is absolutely insane. We need to be able to offer tint.
Same here. And speaking of that, PPF and tint, that's something that we're bringing into our shop by the end of the year.
I'm sorry. You know what? Every time Dustin wants to say a word, he moves the ladder. For the people on the podcast that can't see it.
Yeah, it's this guy cutting. And it literally took him like 1 second to cut all the other ones. And this one's like 3-minute cut.
Yep.
All right. Bringing tint and PPF into our shop was very important because of the request. But here's the thing: is like when I think about like getting asked to do something that is not our norm, I was the first one to say yes. Let's do it. Bring in the money, make the money, do what you can. It never failed. Every time we do that, it costs us money. Every time there's a situation, and I'm like you, Nick. I'm like, hey, if we're not satisfied with it, we're upfront with the customer. We're saying, hey, this isn't our norm. We'll do it for you. And it's sometimes it's a no charge situation, but it never fails that agreeing to do that turns into a nightmare. It slows the job down. You don't get paid on it. Like you may not even make money. You may lose money. Like it never fails. And it's so hard to sit here and say this because I know there's guys out there that are just like, hey, I got to pay the power bill this month. I've got to do this. And sometimes you just have to do it, But it just,
what was the last, does something come to mind, Mike, that you just recently had a weird request for, or Dustin, so you have time to think as well. What's the first thing that sort of comes to mind for you guys?
Well, mine was about a year ago. Well, it happened a couple of years ago. I did a camper, which wasn't really something that was out of my wheelhouse, but I knew from the start, like, this is going to be a problem because it's a 20-year-old camper. It's faded bad. And I told the gentleman, I'm like, I did a demo spot. I said, I can get it to look like this. The problem is this stuff is so old and dried out. I don't know how long it's going to last.
Yep.
And to be honest, I should have probably charged him like $4,000 or $5,000. It was a big camper. And I said, I'll do it. He was a Vietnam veteran, so I had a soft spot to begin with. I said, I'm going to do this for $2,000, and I'm going to put a coat of wax on it. And he came back a year later because it started to fade and blamed me for ruining his clear coat, which wasn't a clear coat. But anyway, sued me for $10,000. And I knew, I ended up going to court and had some.
Tell him why you got out. Tell him how your best friend helped you get out of the law.
Literally, the judge allowed me to do.
This is going to blow your mind.
Video chat with Dustin.
No,
that's the expert.
But I had letters from, I had information from like Jason Rose, a lot of industry leaders too, like, would just write things and let me know. And so I had documentation. So, and the judge himself actually had experience with redoing old vehicles and stuff. So he knew, so it helped. Yeah. So there was not even a case. There should have never been a case. And the judge actually literally told me, he asked me, he's like, do you want to countersue? And I'm like, no. It's about my integrity, whatever. But so that taught me, that was last year. That taught me, like, I'm not doing anything that I don't feel is going to give satisfaction at the end. I'm done.
And like you just said, like, you showed him that test spot, right? I just did a camper too, a smaller camper. He just wanted the hood. It's 20 years old, super oxidized. And I'm like, look, this is not going to be well worth your money. And he's like, look. And he went through and like washed it, restored it. It was under a tree for 10 years. You know what I mean? It looks great. And I'm like, look, there is a very good probability this isn't going to look great in a year. But if you want this, we'll do it as long as you understand. And I asked him 3 times. And and again, I know the guy. And that's where it just gets so tricky.
It's awful. It's awful.
He drops off the camper on like the hottest day, right? You're doing it outside. And
Murphy's Law,
you don't get that headache on a cool day. You're on top. You got guys on top of the camper. It's 100 degrees out. It's like, oh my god, this is such a mess. Yeah.
Well, and to back up on mine was a returning customer. He came in 3-4 times a year. Now I won the case, but
Yeah.
I lost the customer.
You lost the customer.
Yeah, if you just said no, right? If you said no, you would have kept the customer,
Can't do it.
right? Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Mike. I like that.
Buyers was pulling PPF off a motorhome, and every time we do any kind of PPF removal, I go like, do not take another one of these jobs. This one shows up, and we do the whole thing. Like, we're like, yeah, I would rather not. You know, they always need help. They always, you know, we're the best. Like, this is their coercing you into this job, right? And so we overprice it by like $2,000. Like, we are ridiculous price. We stage it. We're like, look, we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know if it's going to peel paint. We don't know what's going to happen. They're like, no problem. Just charge us whatever it is. We understand. Oh my God, dude, we peeled PPF for a week off. Dude, paint chip. Paint bubbled from where the PPF had bonded so much it just bubbled out.
Yeah.
The customer's like, we knew it could have a chip, but we didn't expect this. And we're like, no. We already said, and they didn't want to pay them. You know, we were checking up through the process, checking in on pay it. And I'm like, hey, look, let's just call it what it is. And like you said, you lose that customer because even though it was on good terms, like even though we got to the end and everybody's like understood everybody's situation, you still lost that customer. Like that customer probably lost
that
a lot
stays with them, right? They see that and it stays like, man, last time I went to Easy N, right? They took off all my paint. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, and we didn't even want to do the shit anyway. So yeah, but and my dad has tried over the years to say, like, Dustin, every customer is not your customer. Every job is not your job. Stick to what you're profitable at. Stick to what you're efficient at with the shop, you know. Yeah. And do that. And so we've gotten better. Gabby and Rob,
you're taking. You got a PPF removal right now at the shop, don't you?
No.
You know what's funny about this, guys, is anytime somebody would call one of us, we tell them to stay away from something, but then we're just a detailer because we do the same exact shit.
We will
like,
100% do the shit. Yep. Don't do as do as I say, don't do as I do, right? Absolutely, dude. I'll have people call it, like literally. I have detailers call me, and I'll have the best advice in the world. Go out to my shop, do the exact damn opposite. You know, like what am I doing? But you're right. I mean, one example that Mike, he is probably the best business model that I have is our ice machines and the way that we fill the bags of ice. Mike really likes that process where we take a few detailers out of the shop and we go fill bags of ice to sell them for $3.
$2 bag of ice, $3 bag of ice.
He gets so bad about the ice. So
it's a good business. It's a good business there.
You know, here's at the end of the day, if you got to pay the rent, right? If you got to pay the power bill, and there's a job in front of you, and you can make $1 off of it to take care of your bills, then we're not. I'm not here to tell you don't do it. Yeah. But if you got a schedule full, and you're ticking along, and you know what you're making money at, and then the customer shows up with all these problems. Yeah, man, you don't have to solve them. You can pass that baby right on down the street, you know. And and I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to anybody else. Let that go. And it always kind of works itself out in the end.
Cool. What else? What else is on your mind today, Dustin? I like that. I like that little topic there. I think that helps out a lot.
That's a great topic. It's a great topic. The only other thing on my mind, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I hear this term a lot, is our industry, like our industry, detailing industry, and I hear a lot of things put on our industry, and that lumps a lot of people. When you say our industry is doing this or our industry is that puts a lot of people in the pool. And I think before we can say our industry is doing anything, we should really understand what the large portion of it, not a very small percentage, is actually doing. Yeah. And, I was meeting with my guys out in the shop. I meet with them every morning, and we have 10 detailers, and they're all looking back at me. And I know all this stuff's happening in our, on social media, and it's casting our industry in this way. And I'm looking back at these detailers. And these are our industry. They are detailers detailing every day to put food on their table. That's what they do. This is their industry.
Yeah.
They don't have a clue what's being said on social media that about their industry, about what they do, about what they should or shouldn't do. They don't have a clue. They're paying their bills. They're putting food on their table every night. They're coming in and giving their best. And to think that there's that word out there that's saying our industry is this or our industry is that, and I really hate that concept because it's not true. I don't think you can sum it all up.
What defines an industry, right? And I know you brought up the detailers, but it's also the customers, right? Any industry is going to be that supply and demand, as simple as it is, right? What do people want done? If they've got a car, do they value the service, right? If there's more people that all of a sudden want to take care of their car, they're keeping their car longer, then the industry grows, right? And it always is, it's moving, it's a roller coaster, it's up and it's down and it's sideways. And I think that's business, any industry you want to put it in, it happens. You know, I'll go on a little tangent and just say, okay, great. We've got the auto industry, right? Car detailing. I've got a dog grooming salon. Same thing. You know what I mean? There was a crazy boom. Everybody got a dog in 2020, right? Every industry. I never
thought about that. I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just every industry is going to have these different little pockets of ups and downs, but it's all driven by the customer. So if you're there focused on your shop and your crew and doing your best, then you're going to be able to cater to those customers looking for that work.
Yeah. Mike, what is the industry? When we say like industry, what does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, I think it changes, you know, for one, you know, what are you a detailer working for somebody? You're still part of the industry, right? And then you have the owners, and like what Nick's saying, you have the customers. When you really look at it though, like I think the last time I heard there's like over 200,000 detailers in the US, you know. So to Dustin's point, the industry that we see on social media is a very, very small portion, because I was kind of looking at some of these pages, you know, we have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 followers. Some of them have more, but some of the ones that have more are actually just regular DIY people. That's not counting DIY. DIY people, are they part of the industry? I believe so.
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Sure. So, I mean, when you look at 200,000 is the amount of people that have business license, and then you have the ones that don't do it and everything else. So the industry is a lot bigger than what anybody ever realizes. It's just a matter of, do you make your presence on social media or don't you? Or are you busy grinding? I've always been taught money's quiet, right? So if you look at, I know Nick's not on a lot of social media.
I'm not a big social media guy.
That's money right there.
He's busy grinding. He's busy focusing on his business and making money. And, you know, and then I think a lot of the individuals that do go on more social media might be either the business owners, maybe if they have a little more time, or the DIY guys, or just people like in our case, like Dustin and I have a service to provide to our installers and to the retail side. So we need to make our presence at that point, you know? So I think there's a lot of definition in the industry, you know, label.
There is. And one thing I'll say about our industry is, you know, it provides for us. So we sell software, we sell products. We are a part of it as a service bureau. Like, the industry is our family. These are people that I relate to. When I'm having a conversation with someone off of social media and they're a detailer, you instantly connect to them because you know that they've been in the struggle. They've been in the fight with you, right? They've dealt with the scratch, you know, polishing through some paint. They've dealt with, you know, an angry customer. You can relate to them, right? This is our industry. Right. And this is something that I'm proud of, and I wear it with a badge of honor. And so, like, to think about that there is that small kind of percentage of things going around that cast this black cloud over it. I don't like it. And I want to see that go away. But then again, you know, social media, like, it serves us for advertising and marketing, but there's not a whole lot more benefits. I mean, Nick, what are you missing by not being on there every day? Probably just some negativity at this point. What else would
Yeah.
you be missing?
Yeah, pretty much. So again, it's just your time, right? You've only got so many hours in a day. And again, using, social media as a platform for your business, we do that, but I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know what the comments are. I don't know how many likes it gets. All I look is like, hey, are we getting in front of eyeballs? That's it. So it's like, you can use it as a tool or you can use it as an emotional crutch. It's up to you. But if you're in business, you should definitely be using it as your advantage and not something that affects your peace. Because again, you've got plenty of other stuff to deal with. If you forgot a French fry under a seat, right? As Dustin always brings up the French fry, you got other stuff going on.
Pesky French fries.
Mine's always an apple. Mine's an apple.
Whole apple, Mike. We can't be leaving a whole apple in a car. Are you talking like those little McDonald's apple slice? You just find one of those.
No, he's not.
He's
There's a
talking
whole
whole
other
apple.
story.
Oh.
No, but to Dustin's point too is like the family side of things. Before we bought IGL, Dustin with his detail bookie, that was for him originally, his shop, right? And then he saw the advantage that it did, so he started helping others with their businesses. A tool. It was a tool for people, and that was the same approach that we had when we bought IGL. Is we run detail shops. That's our passion. That's our livelihood. That's a big source of our income. And that was part of the whole thing is like, how do we help our community? How do we help other people become successful? And so really that when we say industry, it's not just for us to I don't look at an industry for me to make money. It's an industry. How do I help somebody become better? Because we want people to be successful. So it's what you make of it, but the fact of the matter is the other detailer, if you're looking at like the industry and looking at social media to try to make a point, the other detailer isn't what pays your bills. They don't care about your post. If you're trying to get glorification because, hey, look at my work, which is nice. We can comment to people's stuff and that, because it is a good thing. But
Dustin never comments on my good work.
Well, you got to compare stuff to his standards.
Yeah.
But yeah,
a thumbs up from Dustin these days.
And I think it's important for us in the industry to support one another, and it's okay. But just remember with your business, when you should be always trying to use social media to better your business. And how are you going to do that? You attack your customer base. You know? I mean, so
yes.
I just want to know what it was like, because I wasn't on social media like 7 years ago I started, but I'm wondering what detailers did like 25 years ago. Did they write letters and
how were they angry with each other? Like they would just swing their brush.
You know what it is? I just think it would be so insular, right? You just didn't know what that detailer was doing 100 miles away. And then it didn't matter. And it still doesn't matter. But what ends up happening is it actually almost levels the playing field by you being able to figure out what that person in California is doing that's revolutionary. And then if you cream rises to the top. So if you want to put that work in and now in your demographic and say, wow, that's a great idea, let me do this here, you're able to do that. So then it just creates, a level playing field for everybody.
We use social media as a tool inside our business, no different than Polisher, no different than Detail Bookie, no different than the products we use. Social media is a tool that we use to attract business on our detail side from customers and on our product sales from detailers, and also brand recognition, like to cast what we're doing. But we also use it to educate and to push positivity and where we want to see. When I think about where this industry is when I leave it, I want it to be better than when I found it. Just like anything I ever touch, I want to leave it better than when I found it. And we can't do that by pushing negativity. Everything's not always rainbows and butterflies. Everything's not always perfect. However, if you harp on that piece of it, then it will never get any better. But if you take the things that are working great and positive stuff that's happening, and you focus on that, then it changes the trajectory. You seem to find a little more positive in everything rather than a little more negative in everything. And I get it. People have issues and they want to talk about them, and that's fine. But you know what? It can't be all that. You have to be able to push some positivity out there and really, leave this thing better than you found it. And I don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Oh, I thought this was a retirement speech.
No. I don't do well with idle time.
Yeah.
I get fat.
But look again, glad to be back on Fridays, right? Love having Mike on, even if it's just
absolutely
in the car. And just do good by you, do good by others. Good service for good people. It's really, don't overcomplicate, work, life, whatever it is,
It is. It's easy. It's easy. Chris, what kind of comments do we have? I see Rachel and Chelsea. That's right. Rachel and Chelsea. Let's see. There they are. Oh, there's Ashton too. They're all building something, putting something together, working on the computers. We got electricians.
What are you working on today, Dustin? Are you working on something there? Are you building?
Yeah. So I did all the metal ceiling, those
okay.
The boards up there. I did the windows, the doors, all the casings.
You built the whole thing, right? You just hammer, nail, whole building.
Pretty much like this, man.
Yeah. Look
See
at
an
that.
outfit maybe coming soon. We got
That's
to take
awesome.
that on turtle boxes. Yeah, so cool. All right, what else we got? What's up, Tyler? Howdy. Supply and demand. Yeah, you nailed that part, Nick.
I always do.
You've been practicing that? Did you write that in the shower?
Before the show, and I was like, you know what? I got to get that in there. I was feeling it today.
It seems so scripted. Hey, what's up, Mikey?
What's up?
Hey, Misty. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
We'll be
All right, what other ages? October needs to hurry up. Anthony, now that's a beast, dude.
Yeah,
that is a beast.
that's
That joke
awesome.
gets up at like 3:30 every morning and works out. Mike, I have finally found somebody. I found your true competition. That Joker texts me every morning.
He texts me every so often.
Does he text you? Oh,
Yeah, by that time I have 2 workouts. So no, I just don't tell him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit sleeping. I'm quit sleeping. I don't care. Nobody's gonna beat me up. All right, post what you want to attract. Amen.
Yeah,
That's
I like
right.
that.
Great.
I like that. Good stuff.
Just hope you have big guy sizes, Jesse Archery. We do, man. We got your size. Go to easyandoutfitters.com. We have all of our apparel and inventory posted there. Go check it out. All right, cool, man. Great show. Great topic, Nick. Great shower thoughts.
Yeah, I like it, guys. Next Friday, same place, same time.
All right. Same time, same channel. See you guys next week.
Peace
See you
out.
guys.